And then, and then.
When was the last time you listened to our Batman uh cinematic? Was it cinematic Batman episode that we
Where
did?
we recap like every single Batman.
Yeah.
It's been a minute, but I guarantee you I remember a lot of what I said.
Yeah, I just listened to it recently just because I just re-edited it so I could put it on the YouTube channel. So we left off at, I think, Justice League came out. When was the last time you watched the Josh Whedon theatrical Justice League that they put out?
God, I don't hate myself that much. It must have been. It's been a minute. It's been a minute. I think I watched it just to prepare for when the Snyder Cut first came out, and then I think that might be the last time I watched it. I'm gonna be honest. I honestly fell asleep in the theater watching it. Yeah, I did. I did. So then I had to go back and rewatch it, and I mean, it was okay. You could tell it was Josh Whedon coded. I mean, you could tell all that stuff. I mean, and then just watching it, and then I remember when the first trailer for it dropped, and I was so hyped for it. And I'm all like, half the stuff that was in the trailer isn't even in this movie.
Yeah.
And I was like, where was that trailer?
Were we aware of all the drama that was happening?
No,
Right?
I don't. I think we were aware of some of it, where I knew like Warner Brothers got into it and had made Josh Whedon go back, but like you didn't know the extent of like how much was cut and how much was refilmed. I
I
mean, you
feel
obviously they talked about the refilming and everyone was making fun of the beginning because of the mustache and because he had it. Yeah, exactly. They had to go back and CGI over his mustache because he was back filming freaking Mission Impossible. So I mean, there was stuff like that that we knew, but I don't think we knew the extent of it.
every time I watch it, I'm like, in the comics, in the cartoon, when he comes back, right? He has like a beard, right? Like, why don't they
Yeah.
just put a beard? I feel like a fake beard would look so much better than the CGI upper lip. It's like I'm conflicted when it comes to that movie because I love that he had the happy-go-lucky, confident Superman, right? Making jokes and being like, oh, slow poke, saying stuff like that. But he had the beginning, they started off like, boom, this is how it's going to be. This is going to be Superman, guys. And it doesn't help that they do show like every scene that you see that's Henry Cavill with no mustache and it doesn't look stupid. It's Zack Snyder. It upset me watching it because I'm like, oh my God, but it looks so good right there. It happens at a quick pace that before I'm able to complain, it's already moved on to the next thing. And all you really need to do is just keep putting them on the screen for me in their uniforms. And I'm fine. Crack a joke here and there. I wasn't expecting, I don't know, everybody expects it to be perfect, but I'm like, I just want to see it in live action.
I mean, I feel like that's how we felt about Batman vs Superman too.
Yeah.
When it first came out, when the Trinity comes down, they're fighting Doomsday, and that you hear that freaking Amazon Warrior theme yeah, when you hear that, like I got goosebumps in the theaters, like I got chills. I was
Yeah.
so pumped for it. Everyone was saying how much they hated it. I'm like, no, this movie was peak. I love this movie.
I remember I went in knowing that everybody hated it. So what was upsetting about that movie? I loved it, by the way, as you know, but they showed everything in the trailer. They showed the whole movie beat for beat in the trailer so that as I was watching it in order, I'm just waiting for those scenes to happen. And they checklisted, all right, got that scene down. All right. I feel like you shouldn't have shown Doomsday in the trailer. You shouldn't have shown Wonder Woman in her Wonder Woman gear in the
No.
trailer. It should have just been her in the dress and all that stuff.
Yeah.
You could have
Especially
saved
since it
it.
took so long, we would have been like, is she gonna appear as Wonder Woman in this movie, or is it gonna be later down the line?
Yeah, and I would have been fine being like, oh, we're not going to see her like as Wonder Woman in this one, but we'll see her in the next one, and then seeing it like, oh my God! But you're kind of just waiting for it, and you didn't have to show Doomsday. You could have, oh my God, like you showed the whole movie, and then by showing Doomsday, you're like, all right, well, Superman's gonna die. Like no fight with Doomsday ends with he's like, all right, well, unless it's Smallville, and you got to just shove him in the ground for like 20 years later. But yeah, all right. So I guess we could get started on the Zack Snyder's Justice League. But a couple of fun facts. Josh Whedon only used 10% of Zack Snyder's original footage.
You can tell when you rewatch it.
Just like a clip here and there, just for each scene. And then he filmed 90% like new footage around it, and just Joss Whedon stuff. Hey, say a joke here. All right, say I don't not like you. In Joss Whedon's, when Superman comes back, he shoots the Batman. He's like, ah. It's weird seeing him smile in the battle. It's Batman.
That was the one thing, whether it was Joss Whedon's or Zack Snyder's, I don't like about this Batman is because just he's so dark and like in Batman vs Superman, he hates Batman and all that, or hates Superman, and obviously like the story progresses that he likes him, but then in this one it's just all we need him, he's hope, he's this, he's that, like we need him, like, and he's just so happy about it, and he should have been more doom and gloom about him dying and wanting to get him back. It should have been like he should have been not as happy. He should have been more doom and gloom, trying to get him back to make up for his failures. This whole, when Alfred's all like, how do you know he'll come? Alfred, hope. Like, that wasn't the same character. You know what I mean?
I look at it as like, I like to think that the brooding and all that stuff and the going through that happened like in between Batman versus Superman and Justice League. And I also looked at it as if I felt like he blamed himself, right? Like for Superman dying, right? Like he's like, it's my fault. Like I tried to fucking kill him and shit like that. And the whole time he's been a good guy. And now what? And when he finally found the chance, like they're like, oh, the mother box could bring him back to life. He's like, oh, it was a chance for, I guess, to redeem himself, maybe bring him back, do it over, give the world back Superman. Be like, all right, see,
I still think he should have been doom and gloom up until he found that part. I don't know. I just feel like it was such a character switch.
Well, I think it was more represented in Zack Snyder's Justice League than Joss Whedon's. He was already like, I have a crush on Wonder Woman. That whole thing when he went to go reach for like the mouse or whatever, and they touched. Hey, I'm sorry.
I don't. It happens, and she's just like,
I don't. The comedy. All right. So we're gonna.
At least we don't have fucking Barry Allen falling on her chest in the Zack Snyder.
I remember seeing. I did giggle when I saw the thing, but it was kind of just like, it was so forced. Like, it's like, all right, you're going for the easy comedy, like a little kid. I bet you there's a little kid who watched Joss Whedon's Justice League, greatest movie you ever saw.
Of course,
it was a live action cartoon.
Yeah.
So, all right. So we're gonna go with the beginning of this. So the beginning of Zack Snyder's Justice League. This is like, what was it, a 4-hour movie?
For some reason, I thought it was 3 hours. Yeah. And I was like, okay, I can do a 3-hour movie. And then when I hit play on HBO Max, I saw it was 4 hours. I was like, and obviously he could have. I mean, I love Zack Snyder's vision. I love his cinematography and all that. But sometimes some scenes don't need slow motion, my guy.
Yeah. And what I think is, okay, so what I think is if they would have allowed Zack Snyder's cut to actually go to theatrical, it wouldn't have been this 4-hour movie, right? Like, I feel like this is the cut he started with. All right, this is what I want. All right, now we got to start cutting it, right?
Yeah.
And I think there's about an hour we'll talk about it as we go through it, but there's some shit in here like, I felt like all the footage that he had that they removed, he just put him in to be like, this is my footage. Mm-hmm. And he didn't cut anything. And he added like, I think they spent $70 million to add like maybe like 5 or 7 minutes of extra stuff, probably the Nightmare stuff with Joker and the franchise killer Jared Leto. Why isn't he's a franchise killer? He needs to be stopped.
I mean, I'm not gonna lie, I get why people hated him in Suicide Squad. I kind of like him. I liked him as the Joker. But when you're watching that nightmare scene and him and Bruce interacting, I think he's perfect.
I always give everybody the benefit of the doubt. I don't remember last time I got like a casting and I'm like, oh my God. I'm always just like, oh, I'm interested to see their take on this. And then I try to pinpoint, like, did I like the tattoos? I hated that shit. But overall, I'm like, well, this is the Joker. This is what is. Like, I'm not going to say, I want a consistent, I don't want them to keep canceling and keep changing their mind. Like I want them to stick to a vision. So that's why I was like, all right, maybe James Gunn's Superman wasn't perfect, but stop, let him continue. No, it needs to be, we need to stop begging for the damn Snyderverse back. Enough. First of all, Wonder Woman, Gal Gadot, I'm pretty sure she's canceled. Everybody hates her. Ben Affleck, he doesn't want to do this shit no more. Cyborg, he was completely verbally, emotionally abused. He doesn't want to do this shit anymore. Don't get me started on Ezra Miller. As much as I would love to, and Henry Cavill's not getting any younger either, all right? So as much as I would have loved that to have continued, It's gone. It's okay. We're continuing on this new one with Peacemaker that happened. I don't know if you watched Peacemaker,
Oh yeah, I love Peacemaker.
but I'm like, all right, this is set on that now. I don't want Superman to be like Peacemaker. Like Peacemaker took it to some levels where I'm just like, all right, this is good for Peacemaker. Better not do this to Superman. Better not put Superman in orgies and shit. I want to see that. And I want them to give a serious take on Brainiac. What did you think about Lex Luthor in the new Superman?
I liked him. I like that he wasn't Lex Luthor playing as the
The
Riddler.
Riddler, right?
Yeah. So I mean, Lex Luthor
Yeah.
was better. I mean, I'm not gonna say I was in love with the performance, but it was better than Jesse Eisenberg.
Yeah, because I think that I'm blanking on this guy's name that played him in the new Superman, but he did go over the top with it at times, which is, it's Lex Luthor, whatever. I guess it's because Michael Rosenbaum.
I was about to say it's hard to compete because no one's gonna be Michael Rosenbaum.
Because even when he went over the top, he kind of kept the lid on it a little bit, not to go too crazy with it, so to keep the realism. So maybe that's why. But I understood it because I think the base and foundation is Smallville in that one, because both David Cornsweet and I can't believe I'm blanking on his name, but they both were fans of Smallville, and those are the Clark and Lexes that they look up to. So I kind of like to headcanon the new Superman as a Smallville continuum, forgetting the fact that his parents are still alive. But yeah, that's how I like, people get mad about that movie because they're like, oh, they didn't explain anything. I was like, well, I feel like that's what should interest you. It's like, oh, I want to find out more about this person. And when they come out with these TV shows and stuff, you can watch it, you can find out. So I don't know. I like where it was going. There were some things where I'm just like, he took a little too far. I liked him saving a squirrel. Superman, man. Would have been better if it was a dog, but he has a dog.
Yeah.
Remember? He's like, he's a bad dog, but he's probably scared and alone. And you're like, oh, that's Superman. That's like, oh, he's kind of a dork.
And then
He's not supposed to be cool.
and then you find out it's his cousin's dog, and that makes perfect sense.
Yeah, because it's just like, if I don't get this dog back, she's gonna kill you, dude. Like, I can't stop her. And I don't know the canon here, but in the comics, Supergirl is stronger than Superman. She's older,
Yeah.
so And I like that they're not doing the whole like she was in suspended animation for years and she's.
How do you feel
older.
about Momoa being Lobo?
I think he should have been Lobo in the first place. He shouldn't have been
Yeah.
Aquaman. I don't understand what is wrong with, like, are we that afraid to cast like come on, blonde hair, blue-eyed Aquaman? Is that not like I don't understand. like Flash. Why can't Flash be blonde hair, blue eye? Why does it gotta be? I don't understand. I don't understand it. But let's hope the next Aquaman is just some. I want fucking Reacher to be Aquaman. If anything, if you're not gonna give him Batman,
I mean, he's already played him before.
What's his name?
Alan Richardson.
Yeah, Al Richardson, but he was Thad
Castle.
Thad Castle. I just started watching that. It's just that. Have you ever watched Friday Night Lights?
Yeah.
I figured you would watch Friday Night Lights. I feel like that's your jam. Texas football, right?
Oh,
I just started watching. I think I just rewatched it for like the third time. I love Lila Garrity. I don't know. She's fucking stupid. But watching Friday Night Lights and then going to Blue Mountain State, it's a little jarring because it's like, dude, Blue Mountain State's not serious at all.
No, Blue Mountain State, I started watching in high school, and I think I watched it before every football season. I rewatch it. I don't know how many times I've watched it. My wife Ashley used to come in and be like, "What are you watching?" I'm like, Blue Mountain State, and she's like, and she hated that. And then when she found out that Alan Richardson was a Reacher, and she's like, "This is not the same guy." And I'm all like,
he's Aquaman for Smallville.
It is, yeah, and he should be Aquaman. I mean, everyone's got him fan casted as a new Batman. I wouldn't mind him being Aquaman instead.
All right. So the beginning of this movie in the prologue, it's pretty much the ending of Batman versus Superman. It's it's the slow motion, right? It's the and there's the spike going through Superman because he had the trident or whatever the fuck, not the trident, the spear that Superman,
the spear of
Batman,
kryptonite.
yeah, that Batman tried to. That whole thing was just stupid. They threw it in the river, got it back, put it back in the. I don't know. But yeah, so he's dying. And people make fun of here's the thing. I walked into this being like, I'm gonna love whatever I see. This can't be any worse than what Joss Whedon did, right? Because I love Zack Snyder's vision. So I wanted to see this, and I figured that he was just gonna throw everything in here, and it was gonna be a big old mess, but I'm gonna like it. So he's yelling, and that reverberates to the boxes, right? It wakes the boxes up. Like, oh, the Kryptonian's dying. He's dead. His dying breath. Ah! Right? I like this setup better than Joss Whedon's. Joss Whedon's, I mean, yeah, it was kind of cool. You were at the rooftop, Batman, there was a burglar or a demon. Fear. But I like how immediately in Joss Whedon's Justice League, he literally turns around on the wall and there's the boxes on the wall. That's how, those boxes on the wall. They don't have this in the Zack Snyder's because that's stupid. It was a picture of Aquaman. Jason Momoa's Aquaman on the wall with the boxes. Stupid. But here they explained it. It reverberates all the boxes, starts waking up all the boxes. And then it goes to part 1, which is called Don't Count on It, Batman. And this is where he goes, and I like how the scene is done in Zack Snyder's version too. Which one did you like? Did you like the original where it starts off on the rooftop with Batman, or this one, or everybody knows?
Well, like I said, I mean, obviously the Batman up on the roof was cool and all that to see. I mean, it really gives you comic book flashbacks. But I mean, Zack Snyder, the explain of it. I mean, they say it later in the movie on why the mother box didn't waken up because they were afraid of Superman, basically. So this just explain. I mean,
She's the
you kind of got to think
strongest.
about it. You got to think about it kind of to connect the dots a little bit. But I mean, I think it opened that, even though it's slow motion and all that stuff, it opens up, I think, better.
Yeah, it sets off the basic plot
It
of the
sets up,
movie
yeah.
is the mother box. It's all getting started now. Superman dying is what started this whole chain reaction to all these mother boxes waking up. And then I like how we go to it was like Iceland and Bruce Wayne. I like this stuff. The Bruce Wayne on the mountain with the horse and the cameras like behind
Oh,
him, like all that shit. And then I love the conversation better in Zack Snyder's. It was less jokey and explain more of the plot too.
yeah. I mean, when he's talking to Aquaman and he's going back and forth with him, and he doesn't want to give up that he is Aquaman. It's like you said, it's less jokey, it's more serious, and I
Yeah,
think it's just
he pulls out the money, he grabs the money, gives the money to the kid. And all that. So I like that setup better. And then they have the scene where it's just like you're the I don't know if it's very comic booky. He's like, you're the infamous Aquaman or some shit like that. And it's just like, it's a comic book movie. And then the conversation outside. They removed the part where, because he was like, the strongest is best when alone or some shit like that. He's like, that's not what they're saying. Like they got rid of that, all that the jokey stuff. The scene would have been fine if it ended with because there was 2 ways. Because in the Joss Whedon one, he goes just like a bat. You're out of your mind, Bruce Wayne.
yeah. And then he goes under.
And then he goes and
Yeah.
in this one, he kind of turns and then just start singing. They just start singing. Why? Whatever. But they just and it goes. It's long, dude. And you just go to the water, and it's not even like a lot of ripples in the water. It's just he's not there anymore. It's like what? And they're just singing. She grabs his coat because he took off like his coat and stuff while he was talking to Bruce, and she's smelling it, and they're
Well, don't they see him as like a god?
yeah, but if I were directing this shit, if I were editing this shit, I would have right when he's like, yeah, you mind, Bruce Wayne, and went into the water, boom, cut, and let's transition into Martha Kent, selling her farm and being sad at the cemetery and stuff like that. But yeah, and then you get to see like Lois with the coffees. She gets the coffee to the cop, and she goes and visits the Superman monument. I think one of the problems I have with Zack Snyder's Justice League is some of the licensed music that they use.
They got to pay for it somehow.
Yeah, but I'm always just like, are you doing it because it sounds artsy like that? Like we'll get to it, but the slow motion hot dog scene with the Flash, I'm like, what kind of song is this? It should be like it should be some cool Flash music, but it's just like it's like a love song. I don't know. It's a ballad. I don't know what it is.
They save all the good music for Wonder Woman.
Yeah, like yeah.
Yeah.
Ooh. Here's another thing I forgot to bring up. One of the things they changed, not only the director and Joss Whedon in the original Justice League, they changed the music. Danny Elfman did Joss Whedon's, and Danny Elfman did something where I'm just like, he used the old '89 Batman theme and the old like the '70s Superman theme in the music, so you're just like nostalgia, which I loved at the time, but looking back, it didn't fit into what Zack Snyder was trying to do. The music, come on, man. We come from Batman vs Superman, where it's iconic for the music. It's just you know, all the themes that come into that, and then we go into, you know, it's ding, 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 it's Danny Elfman. You know? Part 2, Age of Heroes. This is where Steppenwolf attacks Themyscira. What do you think about this
Oh,
scene?
I mean, that scene
I think in both
being able
versions
to,
they're awesome.
yeah, but I think this one is a little bit cooler. I mean,
It's more violent.
I think, yeah, it's more violent, more. I mean, first off, you finally see Steppenwolf, and he looks 1,000 times
Oh my
better.
god, because he doesn't look like a. I don't even know what to call it. He looked like a statue. I don't know what he looked. In this one, he looked like a demon.
Yeah, he looks menacing.
He looks like a hell's
He's
creature.
bigger.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I mean, they're going back and forth. I mean, they're throwing the arrows at him. They're putting the mother box on the trident and throwing it across while they're riding horses. The queen is running out through the place where they hold it, and you got the two on their back holding up the door for it. Wasn't that Beth Phoenix, by the way?
Oh, I don't know.
I think one of them's Beth Phoenix.
Really? I gotta watch
Yeah.
that again. Yeah. Oh, I don't know. But yeah, that whole scene was like well choreographed and well staged and well, like, you know, like I'm at the edge of my seat. I'm like, ah,
Yeah.
like I don't want him to get the. I mean, I felt the same way in the theatrical version, but I guess it was just more with the mood, and the music is a little darker. Like it just felt like more serious. You know, it was more grounded. And mind you, I've been waiting forever for this to come out, so I'm just I'm watching it with like a little kid, enjoying every bit of it. And of course he gets the box, and you know, he escapes, and that's when yeah, she's like, fire the arrow, the
Hmm.
arrow of Artemis, right? And
Yeah. Which then sets it off so Diana can see it, and then she knows
yeah,
that
because she's in the
something's
museum and
going
she
on.
sees it. Now,
Yeah.
in the Snyder cut, she goes to where the arrow is, and she gets the arrow, and then she goes into like the cave, and like she jumps down into like the cave. And all right, when people try to talk shit about like, oh well, she was wearing heels, it should have smashed when she landed. I like to think that on the way down, she kind of controls to jump and landed very gingerly, like, you know, to whatever. Here's the thing: when people complain about shit like that, like I like to just fill in the blanks. I don't know why it's so hard for people to fill. Why is it? I know why, because it's a superhero movie.
Yeah, I mean, when people put like that kind of stuff, I'm like,
Yeah,
just shut up and watch the movie.
Superman's flying, and you're talking
We're
about like
watching
her.
a we're watching a movie about aliens coming down with superhero, like, and you're worried about some woman's heels falling down. Stuff like that doesn't bother me.
Yeah, for if you really want to be technical, right? Like Lois should have died a long time ago, because she's falling, and Superman's just like, you know, just grabs her out of midair. I'm not a physics major or anything, but I'm pretty sure she's going down at this speed, at that velocity. He's going this speed at that velocity. He's going this way. When she
Cut his half.
boom, unless he just slowly. I think in Batman vs Superman he falls with her, and then he just, like, you know, looks in her face or some shit. Hello, Lois.
Well, that's
You're
how
safe
technically
now.
you're supposed. If they were falling, he would have to pass her up, meet her at her speed, and like catch her that way.
Yeah. All right. So she basically goes in the caves, and she finds out about they show Darkseid. They show the carvings on the wall and the paintings on the wall, and they show the boxes, and they show Darkseid. So then you go to Bruce Wayne. He's like working on like the jet, that little carrier jet, the little
Yeah,
Justice
where he's trying
League
to
jet.
get it to fly.
And that's where a Wonder Woman comes in, and he's like,
Yeah,
I spent a lot of money on that security system. She's like, oh, it looked very expensive.
yeah. She's all like, I could tell it took me 2 minutes to
Okay.
break in.
So since Wonder Woman popped up, let's talk about Gal Gadot. All right. When Wonder Woman first came out, right, she's a beautiful woman. All right. So there's some stuff I didn't notice. All right, just let it fly, because I'm just like, whatever, sure, just right. She is not a really good actress.
I mean, I don't think you could really tell that she's not a good actress in Wonder Woman or even this one. Yeah, there's some scenes here and there, but
She talks for like 20 minutes straight,
yeah,
telling and then the new gods came and they joined to fight Darkseid.
no, I didn't think it was that bad.
Yeah, I mean, okay. When I first watched it, yeah, I didn't really. She's a goddess to me. You know, she's Wonder Woman. She sounds different, and she's gorgeous. So I kind of okay.
And she's got an accent that
Yeah,
where you're thinking, okay, she's from Themyscira. They have an
yeah.
accent, so you don't really
And
think
I
about
think
it
my
too
issue is
much.
that she tries to over enunciate the words so that we could understand, and the accent won't show. That she drowns out air. Can I know? You know, like,
That part, yeah, that part. That part I can't argue with.
Look, I'm like,
The lasso of truth.
oh
Remember
my
who you
god,
are.
let it compel you. All right. So yeah, so she basically has this big old long monologue about the when Darkseid first came in. Are you familiar with that stuff? That comic book anti-life equation stuff?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So he finds it, and then the gods and the Amazonians and the Atlanteans and the like, and
I mean, I love that
yeah,
scene.
yeah, it was cool. And then you had Zeus in there and Ares and the Green Lantern dude. He had the ring and all that stuff, and that was cool. And then they defeated Darkseid because Darkseid wasn't like prime Darkseid. He was still like young, like not at full power Darkseid.
Actually, Thanos is Marvel's version of, or
Yeah, that's usually how it goes. Like
yeah,
Deathstroke is no, Deadpool is a parody of Deathstroke, basically.
yeah.
Yeah, we had Captain Marvel first too. Anywho, all right, so that's when we learned that Darkseid came in, was defeated. The Atlanteans, the Amazonians, the gods, whatever, they all got the boxes, and they all kept the box. So the Amazonians had a box, the Atlanteans had a box, and I don't know why you give man a box.
And all they do is freaking bury it. Everyone else has like
bury it 6 feet deep.
Yeah.
Yeah, but he should have gave it to the gods or something. Like, whatever, but should have given. I would have gave it to Zeus. Here, Zeus. Let's give it to these men, the weakest. All right, whatever. It's a comic book. So yeah, so then that's when we learned that they all have their own boxes, like the Amazonians. Obviously you saw earlier they had it in that little temple. The Atlanteans have it in a temple underwater, and man, just have it buried in someone's backyard. Okay. All right. So part 3. Victor Stone's full backstory. All right. Victor Stone, Cyborg. One of the things I have to say about Zack Snyder's Justice League, it does a whole lot better job using Cyborg than that Joss Whedon.
for
They
sure.
had like maybe
But I also don't think we
setups.
needed as much as a background story.
Well,
for
I mean,
Victor.
for the character, like as someone like what I watched to prep for this movie it's the same way I prepped for the Avengers movie. The first Avengers movie was I watched the cartoon. So I watched and I'm talking about the new 52 cartoon that they did of Justice League, where they had the mother boxes and they had all the Justice League meet up and all that stuff. So this wasn't that, but it had elements from that. So a big part of that was Victor Stone. He was a football player. His dad was like this dedicated scientist, couldn't make time for him. And then he ended up dying in an accident, or not dying, but being critical. And then his dad saves him because the mother box creates, it merges with Victor and forms
The cyborg.
the cyborg. And basically that was like alien technology. That part of the thing was like, oh, is he going to be corrupted by that? Which they didn't really touch on in this.
No.
A little bit, where remember when Superman was there and his body automatically tried to shoot him, and you're like, okay,
because he was like scanning him, and then like he kept staying on Cyborg, and then he's like, "It's my anti whatever."
I can't wait to get to that.
Anti-threat.
I can't wait to get to that. Hello, no, don't make me do this. May, you gotta sit there and tell me Batman could be Superman. We'll get there, but he was distraught. Oh, they didn't know what to do.
Give him prep time. Give him prep time.
You thought he would have thought of that. Well, like, why did he put on his little kryptonite suit or whatever the fuck when you find the spear? Like, just in case. He just thought, like, well, let's just hope he doesn't see me and go, you. Yeah, I don't understand. Maybe Batman was so excited about seeing Superman.
Yeah, he thought he'd come back and just be normal.
Yeah. So, all right. So, and then we go through Cyborg, and he learns his powers. He gets a recording about it from his dad about what he can do, and I think this is where they show like they show the family
he goes into like their bank account, like that kind of stuff. We didn't like. There you go. There's 5 minutes. It took like I just kept like fast forwarding that part. I'm like, I don't need to sit here for 3 minutes watch some random family. Like it could have been there and done. Like there's 5 minutes. There you go. You could have cut off this movie.
I see what you're saying, but I felt like for the character of Cyborg, it was kind of showing that, hey, this guy's a good guy. You maybe didn't have to do exactly that, but he showed that, with great power comes great responsibility, and he's very responsible. But I just like that it kind of filled out his character, because one of the things that I kept hearing was that in Zack Snyder's Justice League, a Cyborg was the heart of the movie.
Yeah.
So, and in Joss Whedon's day, he wasn't the heart of the nothing. This one, I think he has one of the biggest arcs in this one, where he starts off hating what happened to him, hating his powers, not wanting to do it. And then at the end, he's kind of fully embraced everything and made up with his dad and all that stuff.
I get this movie's supposed to be serious, but can I say I was upset that he didn't say "booyah" one time.
Yeah.
Someone who like loved. Did you watch Teen Titans?
Yeah. I know exactly
Like the animated series?
Yeah.
Yeah, in that show, he's so funny and like he always saying "booyah." Like I wanted at least like one "booyah" or something to like reference that. But I mean, I guess it makes sense it wasn't for the character, but
Yeah,
he
and
could
it
have
did
at
it
least
fit
said "booyah" once.
yeah, because that was a Joss Whedon thing. He literally removed everything Joss Whedon, like everything, like none of Joss Whedon's in here. So I get it, but I'm like, you could have stole it. I don't know. Maybe keep one thing, but I guess he was just like, no, I want to show my complete vision. He butchered whatever I was trying to do. All right, so we get through all the cyborg stuff. Not your favorite stuff. I could go either or. Like I liked him in Smallville. The Flash slow motion hot dog rescue scene, right? So where he goes to apply for a job at like the pet store or whatever, but then Iris,
Yeah, being a dog walker.
yeah, Iris just she's driving and the guy's eating like he's eating something. He drops it and he goes to pick it. Yeah, it's slow motion, and then again the song choice here, where I'm just like, what are you doing? Yeah, it could have you could have had something cool, but you had
Supposed to show that he's already in love with Iris.
You saw her for 2 seconds. Tired of this. Act like she's Lois Lane or something. All right, so yeah, he goes in there. I feel like if this was Joss Whedon's Justice League and he kept that scene, something totally different with the hot dog would have happened. It ended up being innocent, like because he took it. I don't know what he was gonna do. Slap her in the face.
I thought he was just when I first saw it, I thought yeah he was just gonna eat it because he's moving really fast. He needs to eat. So but then he gives it to the dogs. He's like, for instances like this, I always keep a meat treat. It keeps them calm.
Yeah, he did. Honestly, if I were editing this movie, that whole scene's gone. Bye. We don't need to see Iris for 2 seconds. We don't see her for the rest of the movie. Sorry. Plus, we have multitudes of Flash speed scenes in this one, so we didn't need that one. So I would have cut that. That would have been right next to the villagers singing and smelling Aquaman's coat. That's where that's.
Yeah, you could set up Iris and the Flash in his solo movie.
Yeah.
You don't need to even introduce it in the movie for just one scene.
Yeah, and I just don't. Yeah, the Flash was funny. He was like that quirky, awkward, funny.
I mean, I always thought the Flash was supposed to be funny because I mean, if you watch the Justice League, the Unlimited and all that, like I grew up watching that, and the Flash was always kind of that comedic character.
Rosenbaum was him in Justice League.
He was
the voice. He was very funny in that one. That's how you didn't know.
Yeah. So so I knew the Flash should have been the comic relief of the movie. Is Ezra Miller really that funny? No. I'm not in love with him as the Flash. I don't hate him. I'm just like it is what it is kind of cast.
Yeah. All right. So, and then you have they go, and I like how they explain why they're in this little plant in Russia in the Zack Snyder cut. Because it's nuclear, so it could hold the boxes and build that wall or whatever. And he talks to Desaad. This is another thing I like about the Zack Snyder Justice League is you have Darkseid and you have his Desaad beside him, and he's the one talking to Steppenwolf, who we find out basically like that he was banished. Like I guess he tried to betray Darkseid.
Yeah, that's what they hint at.
Yeah, and then they banish him, and he's trying to redeem himself for it. Like I'll find the boxes, and yeah. So that's how that's another thing that I like better in this one was Darkseid was like the Thanos. He was Thanos.
Yeah,
and Steppenwolf Loki. He's the guy on the bottom. So. But then in this one, I really liked how Steppenwolf was in this one. I kind of really wanted him to redeem himself, but I'm like, he can't because the Justice League got to stop you.
Yeah, because I mean, I think they said he still needed to take over like 10,000 more worlds before like Darkseid would even talk to him about like rejoining.
So I kind of feel bad for him. Got his head chopped off. All right, part 4, Change Machine. You get Aquaman okay, so in the Joss Whedon Justice League, when Aquaman comes out, he saves this guy on the boat in the storm, and he brings him into the bar. Gets the whiskey, it's on his tab, it's on him. And he goes inside and it's like rock music. He's drinking it, waves going around him, smashes him. And then he goes into the water.
I do love that song though.
Yeah. In Zack Snyder's Justice League, he comes out, he's just some guy playing guitar, singing and shit. I'm like, what kind of choice is this? It's supposed to be badass. It was this artsy. Again, these music choices. I'm like, I would have rather. You didn't have to use the rock music that they use in Joss Whedon's Justice League, But damn it, you some kind of bad. I would have taken anything. AC, dang, Danny. It doesn't fit, but I'll take it.
That's too Marvel.
Yeah.
That's too Marvel.
But it's too Iron Man.
Yeah.
So he goes into, boom, he goes into the water, and then he finds the Green Goblin. He finds fucking Volko, William Dafoe. So that's another thing. I don't think he was in the Joss Whedon one. It was just.
No, I think he was only an Aquaman.
Yeah. So we get him here, and he's trying to tell him, use your birthright, and he's just like, shut up, I don't want to be part of this. And in this one, and I don't get it. It's like, I don't know whose fault this is, but in this one, it made it seem like he was mad at his mom for leaving.
Yeah.
But in Aquaman, he's mad at the Atlanteans for killing his mom. So I don't know, maybe they told him they killed his mom after this. But to me, I felt he
Technically, which
found
one
out
came out first?
the Justice League.
Justice League, right?
Yeah. Which is why Aquaman should have came out first. Whatever. I get that we were like, we got to keep up with Marvel, but you should have been like, boom, Superman movie, boom, Batman movie, boom, Wonder Woman movie, boom, Flash movie, Cyborg movie, Aquaman movie, and then we go to the Justice League. But no, we got quick. And then as we're going through it, you're like changing shit because you're like, oh, they didn't like that. Let's brighten this up. Let's brighten this up. Let's cut this out. Let's keep it at 2 hours.
Well, I mean, that's not Zack's fault. That's Warner Brothers' fault for cutting in.
That's what I'm saying. Like they kept.
Because he had a whole plan.
Yeah, they kept fucking with him. They kept like, I was just like, leave Zack Snyder alone. Let him do his shit. Let him finish it out. Finish this.
Let him cook.
Finish the story. Let him finish his story, and then you can move on. They have personal shit. I bet you. There's some shit.
Oh yeah.
They're like, Josh, we need to come in here and fuck this shit up. Whatever. Everything's crazy. Don't even talk about my guy The Rock coming in and just putting the nail in the coffin. Oh my God, the hierarchy is about to change. Love your Rock.
Bring back Henry Cavill for one freaking
because he tried to make
one cameo and then just cut it.
He tried to change canon. Hey man, Black Adam, he ain't the leader of the damn DC universe, man. You can't do that. Be a bad guy. Damn, you could be the fighter boss and shit. You can't be fucking bad guy Black Adam.
I never even watched Black Adam. I refused to watch it.
It wasn't bad. Okay, but I watching it, I'm like, I could see how people fucking. It's a different Shazam. It's the fact that you didn't involve Shazam in this. Black Adam is the main fucking nemesis of Shazam.
Well, that's because The Rock thought that Shazam wasn't a big enough character for him to be a part of. Then why do you want to be Black Adam?
Hello, where'd you go? You disappeared, Superman.